So, in the previous video, I mentioned how certain writers or communicators might make certain beats in these structures implicit. And that is great. That's usually the outcome of someone spending a lot of time thinking about what they want to communicate and how they want to communicate and who they're communicating with. They know what's going to be in the mind of their reader, for example, in a book, and so they can move fluidly and implicitly through certain beats. And that is great. But as with every art or every part of life that there's no codified math-like rules, like swimming or dancing or fighting or writing, it's better to start with the basic explicit practice. And that's what we'll do. We'll practice combining these structures because there's a method here, and then using those combinations to organize our ideas. So what is the method again? It's we take one of these structures and we replace a beat in that structure with another structure. So I could take a bump bump and put it here. Or I could take the 4 beats of a story and put it here. Or I could even take another argument structure and put it here. I can't just throw dots around this picture. I'm following a method. It's not the only method, but it is a method for organizing, engaging, and effective writing. So you can see that I've begun here with a thesis or an argument. And I've replaced the third supporting idea with the 4 beats of a story. Now look at this picture and ask yourself which beat from this picture has been replaced by which structure to make this picture. And hopefully you can see that this beat has been replaced by a bump bump. And what that means is that this little story should be answered in 2 parts with a pair of ideas. And this little story should support the main idea of this thesis. And I will give an example of that, but what I want you to see is that we've used the method to generate an organization of ideas. And we will do this for our activity today. We'll practice making pictures of between 6 and 15 beats using this method so that our ideas are structured appropriately. When we feel comfortable, we'll each draw pictures, different variations from the method, put them in a container, and I will take out randomly pictures, and you will get assigned randomly pictures, and you will try to organize your ideas into that structure you've been given. So for example, if I picked up this picture out of the container, and I asked myself, how could I write a coherent, effective piece of writing for this? It's an argument, and the third supporting idea is a story that is answered in 2 beats. So I might say, going back to our grapes example, that grapes are the best fruit. They are delicious and they are healthy. And also, when I was a kid, I lived in the countryside. So the problem was we never had like candy or ice cream. But we did have grapevines that almost always had grapes. And I could eat as many of those sweet grapes as I wanted. So grapes are actually a happy memory from my childhood. And you can see that this story was answered in 2 beats, and the story is actually an idea of a happy memory, which is why grapes are the best fruit for me.